Hey everyone, Joe here. In today's Lightroom tutorial, I'm going to show you some color grading and stuff you can do to give your photos a nice cinematic look, as well as improve the lighting to give a nice hazy look to your lights. So we'll be getting this photo here from this photo here. Let's hop in here and get started. Okay, let's take the photo that we're going to be editing and open it up in the Develop module. Okay, this is a photo I took in Osaka, Japan on my last trip up there, and I was out doing some street night photography. So, this was shot on the Sigma 18-35 ART, ISO 800, 24mm, f2.8, and 1/30th of a second, and I was not sure if I was on a tripod or not, but as level as it looks, I probably was on the tripod. Alrighty. So first thing I'm going to do is go down and do our lens corrections. You can see those are turned on. Second thing I want to do is go do a denoising and stuff. Go ahead and click AI denoise and let it take care of everything. Okay, wonderful. Now we need to mask everything off. If you press the Alt key or the Option key on your Mac, depending on if you use Mac or PC, and click on the masking slider, we can drag it over. You'll notice everything in black is getting removed. That's what will not have sharpening applied, and everything that is in white will get sharpening applied. So original image I had set to 33. Wonderful. And if we click on the amount here, we can slide that over. I wanted to sharpen this for screen, so I went up to like 90 on this. I'll get it on here. 91's close enough for the tutorial. Let me zoom in here to the center of the image. We'll turn this on and off. You can see before and after. So yeah, it cleaned up the noise really well and also sharpened it up just a little bit, which is what we wanted. Alrighty. Now the next thing I want to do here is crop this. Now I have everything composed basically where I want it for the most part. However, I do want this at 16:9. So basically turn that on and slide our image down or slide the crop up, depending on your perspective. That puts the lights and stuff over here and the door over in the thirds area. Where's the other lights and everything else over here to the side. And it kind of looks good. Kind of like that. All right, let's lock that in. And there we go. All right. Now, everything I do on the global adjustments here is to complement the local adjustments I will do later. So you notice when I go to change a lot of these things, you're probably thinking, hey, this looks pretty horrible. But in the final image, it will look good. And this is something I had to go back and forth between the local and the global adjustments, back and forth a few times to adjust them where I want them. In case you're wondering why I'm adjusting these the way I am. Alrighty. To start off with the white balance, the temp and tint I left as shot. Exposure I did bump up to 0.3. This small bump right there. Contrast I left at 0. The highlights here, I did bring these down quite low, -85. And you're probably thinking, wow, that makes those look pretty bad. And yes, it does at the moment. However, like I said, in the final image, you'll understand why I had to eventually end up lowering these highlights down that low. And the shadows, I want to bring up here to a +65. And we can see that starting to flatten out the image. And it brought back a lot of the detail in the lights and stuff, which is what we want. We don't want things blown out. The blacks, I bumped up +20 here. And you'll probably notice I left the whites set to 0. And that's because I don't want to get those lights too bright, with the whites, until you actually do the blooming and the haze look on the local adjustments. All right, the presence here, we'll start with the texture. We're going to bump that up to a +30. I can get it dialed in. +31's close enough for the tutorial. Clarity, I bumped up to a +20. Alrighty. And the dehaze, I slightly bumped it up to +5. Very, very minor. Okay. The vibrance, I did kick on up here to a +60. Get that in. And this is to bring out a lot of the mid-tone colors. When we go to do our color grading and stuff, I'm not actually going to adjust any of the mid-tones. So I want those to be kind of more natural and for them to kind of stick out better. That's the reason I'm bumping the clarity on particular, not clarity, the vibrance on particular colors that I want. Saturation would just make everything overall too colorful, so I don't want to go with that. Tone curve. All right. We're going to use 4 points here on our tone curve. Go ahead and drop the other 2 on there. Get the first point. It's already there, and the last point's already there. Now, click on the first point here. We'll go with input, output of 20. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut out a lot of that shadow detail information. And you're probably thinking that looks pretty bad. We'll adjust that later on. And this is actually to give it more of a matte look without being an extreme matte look. All right, so 20/20 on that one. The second here, the point, I'll go to a 60. Scroll that over to 60. And output of 50. Okay. Our third point here is 160/160. Get that in there. And the final point is 255/255. As you can see, before and after, just gives it a slight matte. Now, if you're wondering about the motorcycle and the bicycle over here by this light, when I go to add the local adjustments, it'll brighten up the area and they will be seen then. Alrighty. Now let's go down here to color grading. Let's first start with our shadows. Now the shadows here, there's multiple ways you could adjust this. You grab it, pull it around this way, which I hate doing because I don't like, feels like you don't have no control. But the saturation on this, I want to be up to 75. And the hue I actually want is 240. I find it easier using this, adjust them this way. And the luminance, I am going to bump this up plus 15 on that. As you can see, before and after. Add a nice blueness to everything, to the shadows. However, everything's a little too blue, so now we're going to fix that with the highlights. And the highlights here, we are now going to actually bring the saturation up 100% on that one. However, the hue, I am going to go to 30, which is a nice tangerine orange or orange. It's very nice citrus orange. And that looks quite nice there. See before and after. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, a lot of these other lights, areas and stuff will change when I do a local adjustments because we will be brightening those areas up, which will change the overall, how much is getting blued here in the color grading. Alrighty. So when I got that done, we'll go do the post-crop vignetting last. But before we go any further, there's a piece of trash here on the ground. I don't like it. I'm not sure what it is, cigarette butt, gun wrapper, whatever it is. I don't want it removed. It just doesn't look good in this image. Now, I've tried all these other brushes out. Normally my go-to is the heel because I just like the heel. However, the AI one seems to work the best for this one. So I'm going to use Generative AI and remove that. Go ahead and just click on it, turn it red, and click remove and let it remove. Now, the reason I like the AI one better is because the other ones, it's hard because of this brick pattern design to get like your heel brush or your clone brush to match up. The AI seems to do a better job at this, so if it's doing a better job, use it. Okay, and once we got that done, we can zoom back out to our final image here. And you can see that, yeah, that cleaned it up nice. I like that better. Do want some trash and stuff on the ground, like the leaves and stuff, to kind of give it a natural look. You just don't want something that bright being that distractive. All right, do our first mask here. First mask, we're going to do a luminance range mask. And we got to adjust these over. All right, bring this over just a little bit. Grab this slider. Now, there's multiple sliders here. You got this slider, and you got this slider. We want to move this one all the way over. And this one we want on 25, not 255, 25.99. And this is so everything that's bright gets affected and kind of fades out more gently. All right. So everything in red right now is getting affected. Now this area in the background back here, we don't want that affected. That's across the street. You probably can't tell once you're on a large monitor. That's another street corner down there. And the other building, I really didn't like it being adjusted to the final image, so I'm going to kind of erase that. Now we can do that by clicking subtract and just going down to a brush. Get a brush here. You notice the brush has a minus sign in it. And we just kind of brush those out right quick. And that's it. Let's go back on our regular mask here. Now, the preset I'm going to use here is, which one? Yeah, lighting bloom. It blooms out all the areas around the lights. Alrighty. And this is a pretty simple brush I got created here. It just bumps the whites up plus 20. And it drops the clarity down, should be negative 20. It shows negative 19. And the dehaze a negative 50. And this is to make all the areas that the light's shining on kind of a little more hazier. Kind of a bloom out a little bit more. But it really has to go up my secondary brush for it to actually have a real good effect. So now let's create another mask. We'll go down to brush. And this will be our mask number 2. Okay. Now for this one, we want to click on the next one here and go to, I'm going to have this on, yeah, haze. Kind of give the lights a nice haze look. All right. Bring this brush out bigger. Now, in case anybody's wondering, my feather flow density is always set to 100 unless there's a reason. All right, click on this one and bring this down just a little bit. There we go. As I said, now you can see that motorcycle and a bicycle in the background. Shrink it down a little smaller for that light back there. See that brighten, give it a nice look. Same here, boom there. And these over here, right here. That's what I wanted done. Now, there's some adjustments I want to do here. First mask, I want to drop this amount down to 50. All right. Or 49 is close enough for a tutorial. Go back on mask number 2, and I really want to bump this one up some more to 150. It really intensifies the amount. Yeah, 149 is close enough. As you can see, with those or without it, or all the mask turned off, the mask turned on. Since those two brushes used together give a nice glow effect to the lights. I found trying to do all this in one brush and one effect didn't work out too well for me. So I had to split the bloom and everything else out into 2 brushes to make this look right. Okay, last thing left is the post-crop vignetting. Go ahead and click back on our global adjustments here. And scroll all the way down to post-crop vignetting. Now, highlight priority is what we're going to leave it set to. We're going to run this down to a negative 30. Then we're actually going to bring the midpoint out to 75 to make that midpoint larger. And you can see, width out and width. And I think that looks quite well. So let me know down in the comments, what do y'all think about this edit? So let's do a quick before and after. Okay, everybody. I hope everybody's enjoyed this tutorial and hope everybody found it helpful. Like I said, let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this edit. Also, if you're interested in what photography gear and stuff I'm using these days, I have links for all that down in the description below, as well as those little product cards and stuff now below YouTube videos. Also, if you're interested in becoming a patron to help support me, I have special perks and stuff for Patreon members. And also, if you want to join our community, I have links for all my YouTube. Of course, YouTube's already on here, but from our Facebook, our Discord channel, where you can do plenty of communication and stuff with me, talk to me, find out latest videos and what I'm working on. And as well as Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, so you can keep updated with the latest videos and stuff and announcements that I have. But anyway, that's it, folks. I hope everybody's enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, how about give me a thumbs up? Thumbs up's always highly appreciated. Now, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, now's a great time to subscribe. Subscribing's free. It's for you. It lets you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.